Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Welcome everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome everybody. Okay, so I'm testing out the streams, make sure everything is working okay. Meanwhile, everybody can gather around. Oh my gosh, no, I don't wanna. God, I hate Twitch. Welcome, welcome. Popping out the chat so I can see what you guys write me. Welcome, welcome. Popping out the chat so I And I gotta say today the weather is just perfect. It's so cool and refreshing. It's 15 Celsius outside, but it's nice and toasty inside because of the computers. They're finally not overheating, which is nice. I don't have to worry that during the live stream my computer might crash because of the heat. Yep, think everything is okay now. Everything seems to be working. So far so good. Hope you're all having a good day. So this is tiled. For those of you that don't know, this is what I'm using to make the maps. And in just a second I'm gonna open Photoshop because I want to edit the texture inside that. It's a lot easier to move textures around in Photoshop than in other programs. You have that click to select option on the layer. It's called auto select, and you shift it to layer instead of group, and it just makes life so much easier. Let's see, I don't want to see the grid. Oh, let me show you guys better. So in the top left corner you have your cursor selected, and you click that box auto select, and it has to be on layer, not on group, and it just makes things so much easier. And I press Alt to zoom in and zoom out. There are a lot of keyboard shortcuts like that. It just makes stuff so much easier. So what I want to do here is just make this texture better. Been meaning to do it for a long time. There we go. So I kind of have my color selected now. And I just want to make this look better instead of that blurry mess that was before. So I've been working on this project for several years now. It's nice that I finally get to see kind of the light at the end of the tunnel, sort of. So much of the project is done. Of course, it's far from done, but we finally got a lot of maps ready that we can start doing some of the quests, which is really nice. We're still waiting on the 1.6 update because that's gonna mess with Smoppy, and that's gonna mess with content patcher, and that's just gonna snowball into a bunch of stuff. If any of you are doing mods, maybe you have a better understanding than me about this. I just do the art. I do the pretty stuff. And this is kind of what I want to get done, because then I can just copy paste this bit here. And I've left enough room for myself that if I want to move it in any way, I can just cut and move. There you go. And I want to leave imperfections like here, just so it's not a full block. It just looks better. And I want to clean that up so there's no more fuzziness, so it has more of a clean, sharp look. Because that is the Stardew Valley style, and I want to keep with that. And if you zoom out, you can see that it's kind of too much to outside of it, and it kind of makes the building curvy in a way that I don't necessarily approve. And I'm pressing Alt to subtract from my selection. And like I said before, I left enough room for myself so I can move this stuff a bit. There we go, an extra step. And it kind of looks less bad, but still a bit too much. And I'm gonna leave it like that for now because I want to get more stuff done on this side. I love to work in stages and just give it some thought. I usually get better ideas with time. And I want the first dark layer, but then I want to go lighter. And I'm kind of thinking maybe this pink would have been better than the other one. It's like that one's a bit too desaturated. And when you're working with such small sizes, often it's gonna select outside is not a perfect selection. Even though I have my tolerance set to 0, this is just how it is. And so it's sometimes better to just go back and redraw over everything. But then there's kind of like too sharp of a fall from it, and I don't know. I'm thinking maybe I'll just do away with that color altogether. And just erase this and go even sharper. I don't think you should be afraid to change anything in an illustration. Usually when you're like too lazy to change something and you keep working on something that you know is not a good idea, then you can have like worse problems later down the line. So me personally, I like to change early on. Yeah. I have a new kitten, and he's taking the place of every cat, of our older cat, Susie. Everywhere she sits, he has to sit, and he's just taking over everything. She's not happy, but she doesn't beat him up, so that's good. She's a nice cat. She's very nice to him. Like sometimes she will hit her limit and just get very upset with him, but generally she's a sweetheart. He constantly steals her food. She has special diet food because she has a lot of allergies. And it's kind of funny. Because that food does not taste great. She hates it, but that's the only one that she's allowed. So her fur doesn't fall. She overgrooms when she gets an allergic reaction. Because her skin gets really itchy, unfortunately, so that's kind of why she's on special food. Let's see here. I think this is enough. Hi, welcome. Hope you can hear me okay. Thank you. I'm kind of happy with it myself. It was such a lot of work. How are you doing today? Hope you're having a good day, having good weather. Here it's finally cooled off and I feel like I can live and breathe. We had such high temperatures. Thought I was gonna melt like the witch. Yep, I do play Stardew Valley. That's what this mod is for. I don't know if you know. This is from the Ghibli Town mod. And it's gonna be an expansion mod for Stardew Valley. It's currently in, like, I guess you can call it pre-alpha if you're being generous. Like, some stuff's working. Yeah, I usually have people that come to see me work on the mods, so I was surprised that somebody was tuning in and they didn't know, so sorry about that. I wasn't clear from the start. Oh, thank you. So how did you find my channel? Like, did it come up in the YouTube recommendations? I'm still trying to figure out how YouTube works. Sorry if I'm asking questions, I'm just curious. Like, what's going on? Because social media has been such a pain last few years. I would say that YouTube is like kind of the only place where people are still coming to check art out without having to pay for it. As I'm constantly bombarded on Facebook with like, hey, pay us money and we'll let the people that subscribe to you see your notifications. You don't have a computer. Yeah, I'm old school. Like, computer came first, then mobile phone, something like that. Sort of. Like, I had a mobile phone that had the orange screen. And you can only use it to call people. Like, you had that phone, and then you had I had a BlackBerry copy, you know, a phone with the keyboard in it. And now I have to have a touch screen, which I hate. I hate touch screens. But you can no longer find that type of phone with the keyboard. I kind of use my phone just to call people. I don't really use it for anything else. Kind of seems weird to use your phone for something other than calling people, but times have changed, I guess. I never wanted a phone, because that meant my parents could call me and give me chores. No, I am in East Europe. I am in Romania. Maybe you've heard of Transylvania, like Transylvania is a real place. It is part of Romania. It's kind of smack in the middle between the mountains. Very beautiful place. If you ever get a chance to visit Romania, you should see Transylvania. It's really nice. Romanian architecture is kind of interesting because we have pretty much everybody passed through the area. So you get like Slavic and Germanic and Latin architecture. You can find Ottoman architecture in some parts of the city as well, in some old buildings. Really nice. It's kind of just a mishmash of everything, so that's kind of why I wanted a mishmash of stuff for StardewValley as well, for Ghibli Town. First of all, Miyazaki, the owner, leader, whatever you want to call him, of Studio Ghibli, liked European architecture. You can see it in a lot of his films. And there's just a mix of Japanese and European architecture. And I wanted to have that as well. And you kind of have like Dutch buildings and French buildings and Bavarian buildings, and just all one miscellaneous European architecture blend. And then you have the Japanese stuff on top. And I think it makes like for a nice combination. Take care. Thanks for coming by. My pleasure. Always happy to have people come over. I kind of don't like that squarish look there for the windows. Change my mind. Gonna have to change every window. I don't know. Was there some reason behind me doing that? Well, best change it back before I forget what I did here. Maybe I did it for a reason and I just don't remember right now. I have been working so long on some of this stuff that I'm just, what was I trying to achieve here? What was going through my brain? Kind of give a bit more volume. And this here I can just copy paste it for now. And I don't know. Like what was going on through my head? Okay, so I cut right from the top. should be the same, because I don't want one thing to be taller than the other and just be wonky. And that's how you duplicate that. I often do this just to see how it looks, and if I like it I keep it, if I don't I don't. And having a duplicate in case I mess up this side, I still have it on the other side, so that's always nice. This tree is outdated, I want the new cherry tree. So first off I'm gonna open my tree file. And here I have the new cherry tree, and this is in a more finished state than the other one. I'm just gonna take this, edit, copy, merge, so I don't have to deal with all of the layers. Click on it, delete, move this other one here. And yeah, okay, I like it. If it blocks the other trees, it's the window, it's fine. And I kind of wish I could put it more like this, but first of all, I think it's gonna touch the ground and have some overlay in tiled, which I do not want, because the perspective is weird as it is. I don't need it to be overlapping. Like, I kind of don't like it touching here. Kind of have to move it. Kind of want to move it. And then kind of have to do this here. Erase that. Something. Maybe that's now too much. Kind of doesn't make sense to kind of have that. Maybe I should make it straight. Hi, welcome. Hope you can all hear me okay. Let me know if the sound is good. I know I sometimes speak too softly, so if I'm starting to mumble, please let me know, so I remember to speak more loudly. Let me go back into my settings, because Windows often reverts to 70% of my microphone, and I don't know why it keeps doing that. Let's see. Where was it? Maybe in devices? No. Can't find it anymore. Where is it hiding? Sound maybe. Yep, no, it's 100%. Okay, it didn't revert now. It's not that low, it's okay. Okay, awesome. I know sometimes people listen to me on like their phones and things like that, and it's harder for them to hear me. I don't have like the best lungs, I guess. So now I'm back in Photoshop. I was in tiled, and I do the maps in tiled, then I edit the textures in Photoshop. And now I gotta finish this one. So I got the colors already selected here. I'm just finishing this roof. This is from the Spirited Away film made by Studio Ghibli. For those of you that don't know, Studio Ghibli is a Japanese animation studio. It is amazing. People keep calling the owner, the boss of it, Hayao Miyazaki, they keep calling him the Disney of Japan, but I think that he is way better at making animation films for girls with female characters, I mean, than Disney. I definitely find his characters way more relatable. I think he has several nieces and has sisters, so I think that's what makes it easier for him. I think he only has a son, but he has siblings, I think, and they have girls. Something like that. And like Disney, he has adapted a lot of books. If I'm not mistaken, Laputa Castle in the Skies from Ursula Le Guin. I could be wrong. I know he likes her stuff a lot and has adapted some of them. I wouldn't be able to tell you right off the top of my head which ones, because they're both such old stories at this point. It's not something I keep track of very well. Earthsea is definitely from Ursula Le Guin, but his son adapted it, not him. It was a bit of a logistical mess. But Miyazaki's films are really awesome. I think the most recent one is Princess Kaguya, which is an old Japanese tale. It's kind of like Thumbelina. Old couple wanted a child, and magical child pops from a tree or something, and then she has to return to her people. I think the stop motion animation Kubo did the same story as well. It's a very old story. It's kind of like Cinderella. Everybody's done it at least once. But it's like the Princess of the Moon, something, something. Then she has to return to her people. And it's a sad story. She has to give up her humanity. But Princess Kaguya was very interesting. Like, I didn't expect it to be. I mean, I don't know why I doubted Miyazaki. Shame on me for that. I can make anything interesting. And I know the story of Kaguya and Momotaro and all of that, so I was like, I don't really want to watch this again. I know how it's gonna end. And then I watched it and I was like, How could I have doubted Miyazaki? He made this really old story that everybody knew interesting. And he's just a great storyteller. So now I'm working on the roof of the bathhouse from Spirited Away. If you haven't seen the film, you have to. It's just amazing. Like for the animation alone, like even if the story is not for you because the protagonist is a 12-year-old girl, the animation is just so amazing. You have to see it. There's beautiful moving art. I've met people that hate anime or don't like anime because the eyes are bigger, which I find kind of a weird reason to dislike that. Personally, I find that that aesthetic choice puts emphasis on the emotions of the character. Also, Japanese people are kind of reserved. Like, you're not gonna see them wave their hands like Italians do. So you kind of need the eyes to be visible and to be able to emote. I would kind of compare anime to British acting, if I'm gonna be honest. British actors do way more with their eyes than you're ever gonna see an American actor do it. They're kind of more reserved, so they kind of have to do more work with their eyes. And it just comes off as better acting. This way they keep hiring. Hollywood keeps hiring British actors. If you've seen, it's full of them. Like some of the best Hollywood actors are British. Or they sound British. Behave kind of like British. Let me see. Because I think Sir Anthony Hopkins must be British as well. Anthony Hopkins. He's been at Hollywood for such a long time. I'm not sure if he's British or not. Welsh. Okay. He's been in Hollywood since forever. Like he came with the buildings. I was watching a gardening channel and the gardener was saying that there's a new owner now and they want to do this change and that change, and he had been the gardener for such a long time. He was like, oh, I came with the house. And that's kind of how I feel about Anthony Hopkins. He's been so long in Hollywood. I know he was a sir, and you cannot be a sir unless you're a British citizen, and I think you have to be one that was born in Britain. So I kind of figured he had to be British born, but like I said, he's been so long in Hollywood, I wasn't sure. I think Meryl Streep is American, that's why she's not a dame. Otherwise they would have probably given it to her by now. And just for like the lifetime achievement. I think Helen Mirren is a dame now. Dame Judi Dench, of course. Dame Maggie Smith. Should I or should I not kind of do it like this? Yeah, I kind of think it makes for a better transition. Okay. And just patiently add these. I can't believe I didn't know Sir Anthony Hopkins is Welsh. I'm trying to remember if I know any other Welsh actors. Oh, there's a new lady from Lord of the Rings, but the way things are going with that one, I don't think anybody wants to know. Well, I don't think any of the Welsh people want her, others to know she's one of them. It's flopping so hard. I'll have to see the ratings. I'm not eager to see the new series just because I love the Peter Jackson adaptation so much. And I have a certain specific look in mind when it comes to the world of Tolkien, like no short-haired elves, thank you. Ah, Jessica Alba. Names seems familiar. I have to check and see. I think I know Jessica Alba. She was in Sin City, right? Yeah, okay, that's her face. I recognize her now. Did not know she was Welsh. I couldn't hear the accent. I'll have to check her out in an interview or something like that. Because, for example, Mick Avery that played Magneto, he has such a strong Scottish accent, but obviously in interviews he sounds more British than Scottish. But he has done like his original accent in interviews. Kevin Costner, Courtney Cox, Daniel Craig. I did not know. Russell Crowe? Isn't he Australian, or is he Australian now? He moved to Australia. So Crowe actor. No, he's born in New Zealand. I suspect that the list has errors. I think that the list was written by someone that was trolling. Yeah, Russell Crowe never sounded Welsh or British to me, and he's born in New Zealand, so I guess that makes way more sense for his accent. I find it funny whenever he plays a Latin, a Roman or a Greek person. I'm like, what? You have nothing to do with that. I think that was kind of part of the joke in Thor: Love and Thunder, having him play Zeus. It's just like, makes no sense. And for Tom Cruise, I don't want to search because I don't want to have him in my searches. I don't want to get any news from him or anything like that in my feed. Catherine Zeta-Jones, isn't she Spanish? How is she Welsh? Let me see. Maybe she was born there by accident. Like her mom was traveling. Welsh actress. Did not see that one coming. I guess she played so many Spanish characters that in my mind she's Spanish. Christian... Come on, Christian Bale can't be from... English actor. Where are you born, Christian? He's an English actor. Come on, not every famous actor is born in Wales. I was gonna say Welshlandia. My brain just went... Let's see, early life. English, Pembrokeshire. He's born in Pembrokeshire. I'm not trusting anything you're telling me, like, at this point. The Catherine Zeta-Jones one, yeah, you were right about that one. I was not expecting that. I was for sure she's something Spanish. I guess it's just the roles that she's played that, in my mind, that's what I thought. But I guess it's just one of those things. You get cast in type of roles that you seem like you could play. And be credible. Richard Burton. Richard Burton, who's that one? Richard Burton. If I could spell right, my keyboard is so bad. Oh yeah, he's been dead for 40 years. No wonder I didn't know him. He died before my husband was even born. Ah no, wait. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, Welsh. What films was he in? Let me see. Because I probably saw some of them for film school. We watched a lot of old stuff. Wagner miniseries, Absolution, Breakthrough, Obsession, Exorcist, Klansman, obviously. He played in a lot of films. I don't remember any of them. Yeah, he's, I guess, very classic. Midsummer Night's Dream. Sea Wife Robe. Like, some of these films sound familiar to me. Probably saw them for school, but don't remember them now. Aside from Sebastian Stan, I'm trying to think what other Romanian actors are now in Hollywood and have been throughout history. I know Sebastian Stan plays Bucky in Captain America. He was born in Romania and lived here for like 8 years. And then you have Munteanu Florin, which played the Razor Fist in Shang-Chi. And my gosh, what a dumb name, Razor Fist. But a very likable character. He played the role well. I had fun watching him. And I'm gonna save the texture just to test it out in tiled and see that it's all going well. Turn on tiled. And let's look. Okay, so it's way above the waves. So I could take it lower. Have you guys seen the new film with Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling? It's called Gray Man. It was a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. Captain America is having fun playing villains, I guess. Also, if he comes back as Captain Hydra, which I hope he doesn't, I guess it would be less of a shock to see Chris Evans play a villain if you've already seen him do it. Yeah, Ryan Gosling's action films are surprisingly good. I did not expect that from him. I have to say I did not think much of him for playing in chick flicks. I was like, ugh. Those films are always bad. He's probably not a great actor. Don't want to see that. Ugh. And I guess it's kind of like the... What was his name? I forgot. There's some other actor that played in chick flicks a lot. And I'm not talking about Brad Pitt. Matthew McConaughey. There we go. My brain. He started out in chick flicks, which I didn't know because I don't watch rom-coms and stuff like that. There are very few rom-coms that I like. They're usually terrible. Very boring. So I was surprised. I first saw Ryan Gosling in Driver, and because that one was marketed as a car chase film, sort of like Fast and Furious, and I was like, oh yeah, I want that. And I didn't know who Ryan Gosling was. I mean, I knew he was the guy from chick flicks, but I just didn't recognize him or his name, because like the promotional stuff, it was just his back, his jacket. If I knew it was with him, probably I wouldn't have watched it. And so I started looking at the film, and it's a slow burn for sure, but it was a very nice film, action film, kind of pensive. It definitely resembled the new Blade Runner, which is with Ryan Gosling, but I think I would say better. Driver is better. And I really like that film. I know a lot of people were disappointed it wasn't more like Fast and Furious. Like, people sued the cinema and crazy stuff like that because it didn't have enough more car chases. And I can see the disappointment. I also wanted more, but I was happy with what I got. And so when I saw there was another action film with Ryan Gosling, I was like, maybe or maybe not, it will be good. I don't know. And then it was with Chris Evans on the cover as well. I'm like, that might be good, yeah. Because I've seen him in other films and they were at least entertaining, if nothing else. He picks fun scripts usually. I liked him in Knives Out. That one was with what's his face? Craig. Daniel Craig. There we go. Mr. Bond. But I would say my favorite film with Daniel Craig is Lucky Logan. That is with the angry Star Wars guy as well. And another surprisingly good actor, the guy from Magic Mike. Forgot his name. Channing Tatum, there we go. Like, I did not expect Channing Tatum to have any good films. I did not expect to see Daniel Craig as Joe Bang. That was, to me, absolutely hilarious. He plays a chemist, but a redneck chemist, named Joe Bang. And I couldn't stop thinking, like, hi, my name is Bang. Joe Bang. Oh my gosh. That was just brilliant casting. And I think he had a lot of fun playing a redneck chemist, mad scientist. Lucky Logan is just bonkers. A bonkers film. It's amazing. And weirdly enough, the script was written by a supermodel, and that's like the first and only script she's ever written, and her husband is a film director, and he directed this film, Lucky Logan. And I wish there was a sequel to it, but I don't think we will see that, and it's just, I'm super disappointed. I never would have thought that like a supermodel would make such a funny, hilarious film. You don't usually think of supermodels as script writers. I guess that's an unusual career trajectory for her. But Lucky Logan was just awesome. And it's kind of weird to see the angry Star Wars guy in it as well. Being not angry at all. Just being very chill about everything. He is slightly passive-aggressive in the film, but yeah, he also picks interesting scripts. You've seen Lucky Logan? I'm not the only person on the planet who has seen it, because it did not do well anywhere. I think they barely had any screening in cinemas. I have never met another person talking to them, like not in a chat somewhere on YouTube underneath the trailers. Well, happy to meet another person that has seen Lucky Logan. You are have brave tastes, I guess, to check out the weirdest stuff on the internet. If one of the YouTube channels that does film reviews wouldn't have told me about Lucky Logan, I would have never in my life thought about looking for it, because it didn't show up anywhere. How did you find out about Lucky Logan? It was so obscure. Really makes you feel like a hipster to have seen it. Uh-huh. go. Kind of wonky. I kind of want to do it more curvy bit. There we go. Not the great pattern I was hoping for. Let's see. And take this down to 3. There we go. And save as. Oh, I didn't. Gosh. I was in the wrong window. You guys missed that. I'm sorry. It's hard going from one window to another. I forget to go back. And okay, it's low enough but not too low. And now I'm going back into Photoshop so I don't forget. Okay, I'm gonna fix that little corner there as well. And kind of want to round it out, so I'm kind of gonna go like this. And that's kind of how you can do it. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about, if you wanted to see my cats again, should I do a live stream with the cats? With cats, no cats? I'm kind of curious what you guys are into. If you like cats, if you don't. I had people on my streams that hate cats, but others that do love cats, so I'm kind of not sure what I should do. With some cats, you know, there's the risk that they might jump on my keyboard and close my stream. So if that's something that you're willing to put up with, sudden disappearance of me from the live stream. I don't know if I should be brave enough to do it with Chorizo, because he's so wild. But he's a kitten and he's super cute, and I kind of want to show him off before he gets old. Yeah. I don't know, if we keep having such wonderful weather, I might be tempted to do it. I don't know if I should do a vote or a poll or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking with my brain. Let's see, what else I want to talk to you guys about? Oh, Mermaid Island updates. We have now the Mermaid Island Scepter, and that allows you to fast travel to Mermaid Island from wherever you might be, which I think is great. So we did that one because some people that have a lot of mods were having difficulty traveling to the island. So we figured we could do that for you guys. Something's off. Yep, there it is. Somehow this got dragged. There we go. I must have clicked on it wrong at some point. So I gotta lower this now. Because I drew it to the standard. There we go. Maybe it's too thick now. I don't know. So I wanted to let you guys know about that. You can now fast travel. Should make a lot of stuff easier. Even if you didn't have the issues. Two pixels or one. I think I'll leave it to. kind of prefer this pinkish shadow here. I don't know. I kind of can't make the building too saturated either because it's what do you call it? Tinquiola. How do you say that in English? Gosh, I can't remember. Like the stuff that you put on the walls. What is it called? Not mortar. It will probably come to me after I finish the stream. Yikes. Okay, wrong layer. Sorry about that, sneeze. Hope I managed to catch it off. I cut my mic. It's always like weird when a sneeze is coming and you're like panicking to click to turn off the mic, and it's like, where's the off button? Where's the off button? So that I can sneeze. Because you usually don't want to keep a sneeze in. It comes out in the most awkward ways. Anyway, for the kitty stream, I'll have to find my camera, where I put that one. I don't know what I did with it. I think it's somewhere in the house. It's not great, it's not terrible. It does its job. Something like that, I guess. Kinda not sure how that bush kinda goes in like that, but that's how the original is, so that's kind of how we're gonna keep it. I do try my best to stay as accurate as possible to the original. Yeah, something like that. Okay, looks good enough. Maybe one level higher. Something kind of like that. And then and what else did I wanna ask? Oh yeah, I wanted to remind you that I do a lot of polls, and I always want to hear from you guys. So whenever you see one of my polls in your feed, just make sure to click on what option you like, so that I know like which one to do first. I always get a lot of ideas, I just don't have enough time to do all of them, so I just generally try and do what you guys prefer. Like for example, now I've finally started the tutorial with how to draw isometric art. I've had people ask me to make watercolor tutorials as well, but I currently just do not have the space and the equipment to do those. So unfortunately those not gonna come out anytime soon, but the isometric art ones, I can do them because they're on the computer, so that one's easy. And I've done the stone chest from the game. StardewValley, that I'm doing the mod for now. And next up I selected several options. Be sure to click on which one you like the most. So far Mocky rolls are in the top. we go. Kind of want to get rid of that, all of that blurriness. I think that looks a lot cleaner. Not sure if it's not too much. I kind of hope it'll look okay. It's not too big of a change. Doesn't look too sharp. I don't know. Whenever I go out of the line like that, I panic a bit, sorry. Didn't mean to startle you. I know that sometimes I can be like, oh my god, what have I done? And it's not something serious, but my reaction is just so big that you might think something terrible happened. But not really. There we go. I think it looks okay. What else I have to ask? Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about the Morning Fish mod. Simply because it's kind of going to be a bit tricky and I'm not sure how to do it. Because now you have the perfection rating in Stardew Valley, and if you install mods that add items to the game, that's going to affect the rating. It's like easier to get it without playing with mods. And then getting mods. So if you had more new fish, then that would, oh dear, it just zoomed out. That would affect the rating. So Trent and I were talking how to best do this, because because if it affects the rating, maybe people will want to only get more new fish, not Ghibli Town as well, but they're kind of linked together. So it's just like, what do you do? We were discussing whether or not to have separate mod, so it would be Ghibli fish, not more new fish. Instead of adding even more fish to more new fish, we just make a new mod called Ghibli fish. Issue is, I kind of wanted some of the fish that are in more new fish to be in Ghibli Town, so will moving them cause issues and bugs and crashes and things like that, or how we should even go about doing that. Personally, I don't want to have, like I said, separate mods for it. So I just don't know how to do it. If you guys would let me know your preferences, that would be very helpful to me to kind of get a sense of what should I do. Like, how many of you that are playing more new fish are playing Mermaid Island as well? I'd love to know. Because we had to make Mermaid Island to make room for fish, because they weren't fitting on the vanilla map. The spawning rates were just completely whack and crashing because of it. So we had to make Mermaid Island. Also, for us anyway, it was kind of a good practice to kind of exercise what it would be like to make Ghibli Town. So that was another part of why we did it. There we go. And I'm gonna save this one. What was it? Save as PNG. And now we're gonna test it out to see in tiled, to see how that looks. Yeah, plenty of room, not an issue. These trees aren't that tall. What? Do you see this weird error here? Like, my menus are missing stuff. What a weird display issue. Anywho. Get some more work done on this tree trunk here. Because it was left kind of unfinished, not very polished. And I kind of want to fix that. There's something on one of these layers that I just don't... so the layers got merged. Oh, this should be bushes, I guess, not trees. This I don't need. That I can put back. And there we go, finally got rid of that wonky pixel there. Hi Hiraoka, welcome, thank you. Yeah, this is kind of how the map looks so far. I'm just tweaking this tree here. Kind of get a bird's eye view of the map. Getting some more of that texture in there, so it doesn't look as smooth and isn't as junky. Have you been? Can you hear me? Okay. If I can write properly, that would be nice. Well, yeah, in a way, because you can take the train station So you will have like the train ticket at the bathhouse, so it does affect. But it's not gonna affect the main map if that's what you're asking, because this is gonna be different. I'm not overlapping with the main map. This is gonna be a completely separate area. So if that is what you were asking, then no. But if it was the other thing, then yes. Thank you. Can't wait for it either. I've been working on it so long. I'm like, someday it's gonna be done. It's gonna be finished. I think the first time I got the idea for it was in 2017. It's been 5 years. The Tego Bash mod came out at that time. And it was just opened a whole new world. Like you can, everybody was like, wow, you can make a new town? That is so amazing. And it was, everybody's just super hopeful about it. But like actual coding, only 3 years less. I think two years actually, if you want to view it that way. Because that's when Trent came along, and he's the one that does the coding for everything. I'm not a programmer, so he does that. So it depends on kind of how you want to calculate this. I would say from when Trent started coding that you can say that, oh, you know, I'm actually working on the mod, but I've been working on the textures for longer. On the ideas, on the dialogue lines, all of that. I didn't get too seriously into it until I started talking to Trent about doing the mod. He did the programming for Mermaid Island as well. I am dedicated. Yeah, I mean, when I start doing something, I will finish it. It's probably gonna take me forever to do it because I'm pretty slow at it. I have to work and eat and do adult stuff, so I can't dedicate all of my time to hobbies as much as I would love to do that. I can't do that. But yeah, like my comic book, it took me 4 years to make it, 150 pages. And I think a total of 200 pages of colored art. And that was a 4-year-long project. And I worked on it with my friend June. She did the line art, I did the coloring and the script and everything else. So that took me a long time as well. But I got it done. I see way too many comic book artists just give up because it takes too long, and it's very much an endurance game, I guess, to be a comic book artist, a book author in general. A lot of people start and then they can't finish for various reasons. Usually life reasons like financial, medical, they have a kid that takes so much time. I publish my comics on Tapastic, and I've definitely seen people there kind of go, well, sorry, comic book's over. I had a kid, I need to take care of my family. And I was very happy to see people very understanding of that. When you look at like more famous authors, like for example George R. R. Martin or J.K. Rowling, if they said, oh, you know what, I can't finish the books because I have other stuff to do, people would just go bonkers. And I'm glad to see that on Tapastic anyway, people have been very nice and understanding. It's a very nice website. You have a lot of comics there. People usually know about webtoons, they don't know about Tapastic. I would definitely recommend Tapastic, especially if you're like a beginner artist. Just because the community is nice and supportive. You don't usually run into bad people there. I would say the YouTube and Facebook are far more toxic. So every time I'm selecting a color, I'm pressing the Alt key, and that just does it for me automatically. I always recommend learning the keyboard shortcuts when if you're trying to draw. It just makes everything quicker. Get that purple in there, just so it's cohesive and it just don't have random colors all of a sudden in one spot and not in another. And as always, if you guys have any questions for me, I love to answer them. Like I said, there's an update for Mermaid Island. You now have the scepter to teleport there directly. That should be a good bypass for anybody that's like messed up their train ticket machine and it's not working for them. You can just do that little simple quest, fetch quest, and get the scepter from Linus. If you have everything installed properly, you should get a like a message from him in the mail saying, hey, I heard you fixed the boat. I got something nice for you. Because in order to get to Mermaid Island, you had to fix Willie's boat, which you need to get to Ginger Island anyway, so it's not anything special. We always try to keep it in the vanilla spirit with Mermaid Island. And just keep things simple. Because we're constantly working on Ghibli Town, so we just didn't want to complicate our lives too much with Mermaid Island. To have to fix stuff there. That's why we keep it small. I wouldn't expand Mermaid Island beyond what it is now, unless we needed to test something. Mermaid Island is our guinea pig. You're carefully placing each individual pixel. Yeah, it can get tedious. Like, you're always having like some rogue pixel here. Like, why are you doing this? Why are you there? How did you get there? Like, why is this pixel there? At some point, it got there. Somehow. It's just very annoying. Because a lot of stuff I kind of did it rushed and be like, I get to get this done so it looks half decent, and I can like start to do tests, and because there's a lot of work you got to do with the coding as well, and that's gonna take forever to finish. So like, do something. And then it doesn't look great, like here it looks blurry and you kind of have to fix that. Hope you can hear me okay. I'm always concerned that like people can't hear me, because I've done it in the past. Like my sound went away and I was like talking to myself. So I'm kind of like always concerned. But more progress today on this texture. Getting rid of some of that blurriness. I sound crystal clear? Awesome. Because I do have a pretty big ventilator on my computer. I do have an option on my headphones to like cut some of the noise, and hopefully they'll sound okay, everything. I would love to have like a little sound studio, so the quality of the audio would be even better. Like, yeah, at the moment it is what it is. I don't know, maybe I'm more sensitive sometimes to this kind of stuff. I did finish film school to do animation. I did work as an animator. I worked as a junior animator. That was my first job ever. I was so happy. I was like, yeah, I don't care about the salary. Yes, you're paying me peanuts. I don't care, I'm happy. But, you know, after a while, I would be nice if I could eat food. Like, food would be nice. Hi, Banshee Angel. Thank you. Glad it sounds okay to you. I'm like always stressing out for the audio. I do tutorials a lot of the times, and obviously I edit everything myself, and sometimes I listen to the audio, I'm like, this could have been better if I had like better equipment. So yeah, I'm stressing over it. But this is for me a hobby, so I try and not get too stressed out about it. At the moment, I do like graphic arts, not so much animation, because you know it pays miserably. But I get to do some animation here in Stardew Valley, so I get my itch scratched that way. What is your favorite Studio Ghibli animation? I'm kind of curious. Mine is Spirited Away. I love it. I think it's the best thing that Miyazaki ever did. I actually saw it in cinemas in 2001. I was 11 years old back then, and I went to the cinema myself and watched it. Because we had a lot of like cinemas near my house. And I could just go downstairs on the boulevard that was full of cinemas, on the main boulevard, and then like a side boulevard that went to the one of the oldest parks in Bucharest, and they were just full of small cinemas that have since gone bankrupt, to my heartbreak. But yeah, good times. The Cat Returns. Oh yeah, that one's really awesome. It's fun. Kiki's Delivery Service. Yeah. I really like about Kiki is there's kind of like a coming of age story that's like really in line with mine in a way. So I loved it when I was little, but I love it even more now. Cause she likes moves and lives by herself, which is what I did, and she has like her own little business, which is kind of what I ended up with. And you know, I've heard someone describe it as the millennial story. It's kind of like a lot of millennial artists, that's kind of how it goes for them. It's like Kiki's story. And at first I really didn't see it, but then I was like, you know what? The comparison is fair. Nausicaa, Valley of the Wind is my favorite for sure. I really like the whole mushroom idea. Like that bit of world building, and that one's 100% Miyazaki. It's not how should I say? Is not an adaptation from somebody else's book, which he's done a lot. Like he's done a lot of adaptations, but that one's not it. Like all of that world building is his, and was pretty early on, and it's just amazing. A bit of world building. And I just keep wanting, I'm like, I wish he did more, but he said, not while I'm alive, I'm not doing a sequel. And you know, I respect that, but at the same time, like, can you make an exception? Just this once. I want more. Can I? Please. Mr. Miyazaki-san. Would you consider? But no, he said no. And yeah, he was pretty adamant about it. I think Nausicaa is a very interesting character. She is so strong-willed and determined, and so sure of herself that that's the right way. I would not be that certain of it. Yeah, the Omu creature is interesting. I'm generally not into post-apocalyptic scenarios, but um, that one appealed to me because of the mushrooms. Because mushrooms often symbolize, you know, like death and decay and destruction. And to have them used that way was the first time I've seen it, like a post-apocalyptic mushroomy disaster. It kind of reminds me of the Annihilation film. The books aren't so, let's say, girly aesthetic, um, but the film director decided to give it like a girly twist. He gender bent all of the characters instead of being some scientist. Like the men had already gotten to the like decayed place and they never came back, so then they sent some women because I don't know, for whatever reasons that was all that was left at the bottom of the barrel sort of situation. I'm not sure what was the inside logic, but anyway, you get an all cast female that like go into this uh, weird alien thing that happened there. That invaded. It's not clear what's happening, what the creature wants, what's going on. It's sort of a cosmic horror type of scenario where you are missing a lot of information. It's just the uncertainty that creates a lot of the tension. But the monsters were very flowery and pretty, which is not something that you usually see in horror. You don't get pretty monsters. So when I saw the trailer, that definitely caught my eye, as seeing beauty as something that is unsettling. We've definitely had poetry and art where ugliness is shown as beautiful, and it's like, oh, so deep, so poetic, so philosophical. Yeah, mold and death and blah 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 can be beautiful, but you usually don't see pretty things as scary. So I love me some cosmic horror, I love me some thrillers, and then when I saw the pretty unsettling alien type of thing, I was like, this is gonna be an interesting film, and it was. It's now one of my favorite films. It's called Annihilation. Let me see if I spell that correctly. But you know, be careful. If you're young, don't watch it. There are some parts in it that are like very scary. And like if you're sensitive, you might not get a very good night's sleep out of that. Kind of reminds me of the what was his name? No Face from Spirited Away. Like that was a creepy monster. Hi Rose. I'm good. How are you? Can you hear me? Yeah, you can hear me. Awesome. Yeah, the music is beautiful in Spirited Away. The characters are very interesting. A lot of fantastical, mythological creatures that are just, you know, employees scraping a living. It's always fun to see that. The fantastical reduced to mundane. And having something mundane be fantastical, and I feel like the bathhouse in Spirited Away just did both of those things really well. And it's just a treat to watch, really. I don't know if you've seen like the speculations. People have been trying to like figure out what each character signifies, what it means, that No Face is actually a John, if you know the expression. And I'm like, I don't know if I adhere to that idea, but I kind of like it in a way. Yeah, from what I understand from the book, for Howl, the film is way better than the book. First of all, Miyazaki did a better job of, I mean, not that he did a better job. The version of Howl that he made is a lot more likable, so I think it's actually called whitewashing when you make a character better than he was originally. I mean, morally, I mean. And you make them nicer than they actually were. I think that's the term used. Because I've heard a lot of people comment that he was way more sleazy in the books and he's a lot nicer now. Also, the voice acting, just phenomenal. I don't like dubbing, but I think Christian Bale did a good job with Howl's voice for the American version. I've never watched it in the American version, but I just listened in just to see, like, is it as good as people say? And it is. I think Christian Bale did a great job. Let's see, or was it color? There we go. I don't know, have any of you read the books and seen Miyazaki's version at the same time? Like, would you say that animated Howl is better than book Howl? I guess nobody read the book. Like, I've been thinking, should I, shouldn't I? Because all the reviews that I've seen, they're like, Howl's a terrible person, blah blah blah, in the books. And I'm like, do I want that information? Or should I stay in my ignorance with film Howl, because he's great? He's not the best, but at least he's a very interesting character to watch. Do you like the last movie they made, Goyo Miyazaki? I think the last movie that they made was Witch something. It was 3D. What was it? What was this? Let's see. I'm looking at his filmography. Where was it? Earwig and the Witch. I think I only saw the trailer. When is it out? Oh, it was in 2020. Did I watch it and forget about it? Did my brain erase it? Or did I just forget to watch it? It's definitely a aesthetic choice, I guess. I can't say that I like what Miyazaki Jr. has done. He also did Earthsea, and it was just very confusing to me. I was like, what am I watching? What's happening? Who are these characters? What happened to that character we saw previously? I'm more confused than watching Game of Thrones. And that one has a lot of characters that you have to like keep up with. This is getting too complicated, even for me. It was something like that. I liked Ponyo. It was definitely an interesting spin on the Little Mermaid tale. I did not expect it to be like that. I like that the father-daughter relationship was different than the American version. Uh, I thought it was really cute. I loved all of the water animation. Also, when the island got flooded and you had a bunch of fish going around everywhere. That happened to me while I was in Michigan. Like, the area where I was just flooded, and fish starting using the sidewalks and the roads as highways to get from to new spawning places or something like that. So having seen Ponyo previously and then seeing that in Michigan, I was like, ooh, nice. I'm watching Belle. I think that's the anime with Belle. I don't like that animation style. I think it's vector digitally animated or some cell shading, and it just looks stiff and lifeless to me. So um I don't think I'm gonna watch it. Plus, if it's the Beauty and the Beast whole story again, it's an old story for me, so I'm not really interested. The film director and other things like that are not people that I know can make something old be interesting like Miyazaki can do, so I'm just like, meh. Not really catching my attention. I don't like the new God TV series. I watched season 7 and 8. Yeah, season 7 and 8 definitely rushed. Not a good smooth landing by all accounts. But I'm liking this new series. So far I'm happy with it. I'm loving the new dragons. Caraxes is a squeaky long boy. I love that the fandom gave him that name, so now he's just squeaky long boy. And it's just so cute. Yeah, Mermaid Island is definitely our guinea pig, so anything that you've seen on Mermaid Island means we can do it for Ghibli Town, so that's exciting for me anyway. Because I'm like, yes, that thing that I want to do works, and I'm like, yeah, we can do it. Can't wait. And now on Mermaid Island, by the way, we have put a scepter that like lets you teleport to the island directly, because some people that have a lot of mods, sometimes it breaks for them and they can't get to the island because there's so many conflicts with all the mods that they have installed. Like we've had people that have over 1,000 mods come into the server and like, it's broken, how do I fix it? I'm like, I don't know where the conflict is. And so now with the scepter, it should like avoid a lot of issues and just go around the problem. I use the more fish mod. My recent mod is safe. I love the fishies. Yeah. Oh, and you should try it with the what's it called? The show fish mod. I think that's what it's called. So you can see the fish. We wanted to do that anyway, but somebody did it before us, so we were like, okay, we're not gonna bother to code for that. Somebody already did it, so I'm like, hey, thank you. I guess. Trent was a bit sad that he didn't have a chance to do it, and somebody else already did. And we're like, I didn't have time because I was at work and I didn't get to do it. And like, sad. Trent is sad. Season 8 will be about King's Landing. Come on. Oh, you're so mean. You're so mean. Yeah, I know a lot of people are angry about the new series. I'm like okay with it. I don't know what people were expecting. Like, I know some people are like, oh, we want less violence. And I'm like, you want less violence in Game of Thrones? Ha 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 ha. This is not a TV series story you can ever watch with your grandmother. I don't know. In a way, I wish I could have watched it with my husband. He doesn't like violent stuff that much. So I'm like, actually, not at all. And Game of Thrones is very realistic with the gory details, so it's not like in computer games where you have cartoon violence and it's like, it's fine. It's kind of brutal, so it's too bad. I kind of like all the politicky and infights and drama and things like that. I would never watch Real Housewives or something like that, but if it had dragons and it was medieval, I would be interested in. Oh, Gilded Age. It's another HBO TV series. The costumes are so awesome. It is so beautiful. I was just gushing over it. My brother likes Game of Thrones. My sister doesn't. I watched Gilded Age with her. And all the time we were watching, and he was there as well. I tried to convert him to watch Gilded Age. And he was like, oh, this is boring. But me and my sister were like, look at that chair, look at that dress, look at those flowers. Oh my gosh, that dishware, the tablecloth. Everything was so beautiful in Gilded Age. We were just constantly, oh, I want that. I need that in my life. Everything is so pretty in Gilded Age. My gosh. I love it. You should watch Gilded Age just for the pretty stuff. Yeah, they said they were gonna do Ghibli Town in Japan. I don't know if it's finished and you can go there or not yet, but this is something that I wanted to do as well. visit the Ghibli universe, so that's kind of where this mod idea came from. And like, what's the next best thing? Like, have a barbecue in Ghibli world. And have the Hogwarts train take you there. Like, that would be nice. I made a train station that has the Hogwarts train come. I always loved that part from Harry Potter. I'm not too thrilled about the Harry Potter stories. There are a lot of things that I'm like, nah, not my cup of tea, governor. But I do love the Hogwarts train. That is for sure. Thank you. Glad you like it. I never liked the separation of the houses. Like having people separated by a magic hat. I'm like, this is some weird British stuff I don't approve of. That being said, since I am in Hufflepuff, Hufflepuffs are the best, so I can't be mad. Like, out of curiosity, like, in what houses are you guys in? Anybody else in Hufflepuff? I don't know. I have, Hufflepuffs have badgers as their mascot, which are really cute. I like that. Oh, and Baldur Gate 3, the game from Larian Studios, you can play as a druid and have the druid class, and then you can turn into an animal and you can turn into a badger, which isn't that awesome. Slytherin, oh no. You guys have such a bad reputation. But I know people that are in Slytherin in real life, and they're like really nice people, and I'm like, how are you in Slytherin? You're such a nice person. Because, you know, you kind of have that whole idea that, oh, Slytherin are the worst. There's no there's no bad wizard that didn't start from Slytherin or something like that. It's usually the when you call it, the preconception. First time I was Hufflepuff, then somehow second time I was Gryffindor, though I still think I might be counted as a Hufflepuff. I definitely get a Hufflepuff vibe from you. Oh, what is a Hufflepuff vibe? I want to know. I'm curious. Because I've never heard of that. What? Oh. Apparently my Bible, thanks. Very patient with your work and very nice, calm vibes. Oh, thank you. I'm kinda don't know what to do with this corner here. What should I do? This and then this here. Open is 5:30. Oh my gosh, I was supposed to finish my stream 30 minutes ago. Just got a guest. Someone came to visit my husband. I guess he must have told them that I would finish at 5, which that's what I promised to do. So yeah, I'm gonna have to end the stream here. Thank you so much everybody for joining me. I'm gonna try and do next Saturday as well again. I'm trying to keep a schedule just so it's easier for everybody to know when to come. As always, I will post on Twitter when I will do these live streams, so you can follow me there. I am Hisame Artwork everywhere on every social media platform, but I'm most active on Twitter just because most people are active that are interested in my work. Like I've tried Tumblr and TikTok and all of that, but most responsive people have been on YouTube and then on Twitter, so that's where I usually post. So it's gonna be the same time, I think, unless something happens. If I'm not able to stream, I'll let you guys know. What else I had to tell you? So we have the new Mermaid Scepter for Mermaid Island. Helps you travel faster. I have a poll for the tutorials on how to do isometric art, because I am a video game artist. I do art for video games as a job. I do vectors and pixel art and digital painted and all kind of stuff like that. So people ask me for tutorials and I do them. You can check them out on my YouTube channel. You can vote for like which tutorial I should do next. Goodbye, Candy. And yeah, so next week I'll try to do another stream. Which tutorial I'll do next, you can check on YouTube and on Twitter to see the poll, and you can click there and help me decide which I should do next. Yeah, I'm kind of trying to look on the list what I wanted to talk to you guys about. And maybe next time, if the weather is good again, I will show you guys my kitty cat. I've done live streams with her before, and yeah. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.